Hey everybody, welcome to Bura Tech. It's that time of month again. It's the time for free Unreal assets. Alright, welcome back. Before this video, I want to make sure that you like, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can make. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the awesome and free assets to the Unreal Asset Store. If you don't know, every month the Unreal Engine Asset Store puts up some free content once per month, every month, only for the month. So add everything to the cart, add it to your library because you never know when you might need it. So there's a lot of really cool things in here. And let's take a look at this first one here, which is the medieval castle. All right, so it's really awesome. You can definitely see that it is a modular castle, and you can see that here are some of the light maps. It's a very, very cool castle here. And if you look at this, if you need a castle in a game, even if it's just for like a cutscene or anything, I highly recommend downloading it. Very, very nice. Again, I always recommend just downloading these things too. And if you're just starting out with game development, one of the best things you can do is just make a simple game with this asset. Doesn't need to be fancy. It could be just like a cutscene over here. It could be a little battle in the courtyard. It could be an archer game. Just use a bunch of the engine functionality to make crowds work. There's a lot of cool things that you can do, right? And you can always add these to your portfolio if you want to get into the industry. So actually, this is quite a bit here, more than you would actually think for a free asset. So this is definitely a download. You can see that there's obviously a lot of pictures here as well. So there we go. First asset. Now the second one is this hack and slash effects here, and if you're making some kind of game that needs all these effects, you can go use them here. And these are actually really, really cool. And this looks like for like a top-down third-person game here. You don't have to use these in a third-person game. You can use them pretty much whenever you want. And the more creative you use these, the better, right? The other thing you can do is you can also download these. Like, let's say you really like this lightning one here. You can always download them and reverse engineer. That's one of the ways that you can actually learn. And this is one of the ways I like to learn is you download it, reverse engineer it, tweak around with things, spend maybe about an hour in Unreal just doing all that stuff, and it actually looks pretty good. Next one is really cool. It's an office space here. It looks better than my office, but there's a lot of really awesome assets here, such as like the keyboard, the laptop. If you're not using it today, you can use it in another project for another day. You can even use the props here. But one of the things I actually really like about this is this globe. I don't know why I like that so much. The steel globe, I kind of want one for myself, but there you go. It's a globe. So here we go, and you can see that here are all the items that you might need. And of course, you could actually make this into a modular office if you really wanted to. So very, very good. Now this next one is really, really awesome. It's an advanced vehicle system. So I'll just read this here. It says, create modular physics-based vehicles with ease. The S47 vehicle system plugin is an alternative to the vehicles provided in the Unreal Engine. It creates awesome semi-realistic vehicle movements, and it can be adapted to work for almost any project. And they're right. So there's a lot of really awesome assets right off the bat here. You can have trucks here. This car is really cool. This is actually really funny. I actually like this. And you can see that there's a truck here, and there's a lot of really cool things. The pictures really do say this all. If you want to make kind of like a funny type physics game, this is probably for you. You can see that the people that made this have a good sense of humor. Like there's a guy standing on top of a truck that's just about to fall off. We have all these different vehicles. Even if you're not making a vehicle-based project, again, I always like to download it here. But it looks like there's a bunch of physics in there too. This is really funny. I actually really like this the most. And you can see that there's also some more functionality than just kind of driving around here. And of course, this is even hilarious. And if you're wondering why your Amazon product came broken, well, this is why. That's what the driver was doing. Clearly, of course. All right, and you can see that there's even a rocket engine with some effects here and a light, which actually looks pretty good here. And there's even some extra functionality for clocks as well. It's pretty awesome here. Now, one of the things about vehicle systems is the shock absorbers here, which you can kind of see is being used within this particular model. That's actually really hard to program. And I shouldn't say that it's really hard. I should say that it takes some time and it's kind of difficult to get right. So if someone does the work for you, it's actually pretty good. So you can also see here that some extra items here, and very, very nice. And again, the people who made this probably have a good sense of humor, but I think it's an awesome thing. Of course, download it here. And the last but certainly not least, if you want to make a turn-based JRPG template, this is for you. So this is actually a lot of people who get into game development want to make this particular game. Well, this template is for you just because, a lot of it's set up for you. This is actually really well done. And if you want to make a JRPG type game, I would recommend just downloading this project, learn how to swap out the art and just make a very, very small, kind of like an hour-long game, tops, just for your project here. You'll probably learn so much in doing that one project here. But like, it's little things like the heads-up display here, and the character. I think that's really awesome. And again, this would take you, you know, a couple hours, maybe a whole day to set up by yourself, but it's done for you. And if you're just getting into game development, making a full game from scratch with a template and just like not even changing the template all that much is a very good way. A lot of people, when they first start programming, they have to make a game from scratch, and that is actually something that is really good to do, but it's also good to just take a template and make it about 95% the same or 98% the same and just switch out the art and make your own little game with it. I would highly recommend doing it. You don't have to release it to Steam or anything like that, but you can just see how that project works here. When I first started game development, none of this stuff existed, but it exists now, and I'm actually quite happy. All right, so that concludes this video here. There's a lot of really awesome free assets, and again, they're only free for this month only, man. Because they're only free for this month only, you want to make sure that you download them right away. So that concludes this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you really like this channel, you can subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. We have monthly and yearly options. We release 20 to 60 hours of fresh new e-learning content per month every month, and it really does help us out when you subscribe.